my name is Jasmine and welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be telling you all about how I started my own magazine company at 17 years old. So stick around if you want to see, and leave a like and a comment, and I'll make sure to reply if you have any questions. And yeah, let's get on with the video. So me and my two best friends, Laurel and Jenna, currently own and operate Incoming and Outgoing, which is a magazine for upcoming music artists, and just it gives exposure to a whole bunch of smaller artists that we love their music, and we wanted to give them, we want to have as many people as possible find out about these people because they are just amazing. So we actually started this idea in about 2 weeks before our first issue ever dropped. And so it was about the middle of February, and I made a comment to my best friend Laurel about how I was thinking of going into magazine writing and specifically music journalism when I was older. And she was like, yeah, you're not gonna do that. Like, you always say oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. You're not gonna be a music journalist. And I was like, okay, wanna bet? And she was like, yup, sure. So in literally half an hour, I think it only took me 30 minutes to write our first ever article for Incoming and Outgoing. And it was actually the March cover story. So I wrote a full review of Emily Dre's Player One EP, which is a friend of mine, and it's also Laurel's cousin. And so I wrote this whole review of her EP, and I sent it to my friends, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute, this actually wasn't that bad. I wonder if we could distribute this in some way, get it out there, maybe put it on a blog post or something. And they were like, yeah, that would be really fun, and interesting for you to do. So I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And we went on, and I think it was Laurel who suggested the idea, and she was like, why don't we start a music magazine? And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And so we started Incoming and Outgoing. Incoming was actually the name of a podcast that we ran for about 6 weeks. We put out about 6-7 episodes. And then it just got so hectic and busy because the three of us live in 3 different time zones. Laurel lives on the East Coast in New Jersey. I live in Chicago. And then Jenna lives in San Francisco. So it's very difficult for all 3 of us to have a time where we could all sit down and, talk to each other that wasn't late at night, because, we didn't want to disturb our families, because we would talk, we would laugh, it was a very specific setting that we were in, so we didn't want to disturb anybody with our difficult schedules. So we decided to then turn Incoming the podcast into this print format, which it literally is the same exact thing. On Incoming, we were talking all about music and media and all of that stuff, and our horoscopes and everything, and we have the same exact format in our magazine. So that night, the night that I wrote the article and I came up with the idea to start writing music journalism, is we sat down, we created all of our articles. We said Emily is going to be our first cover star. We hadn't even I don't think we even reached out to her yet. We might have. I think we did. I'm not sure. But we sat down, we wrote all the articles, and we were like, okay, this is our magazine. We're gonna do it. And so we wrote all these articles in 2 weeks. So that was about, I would say, well, Emily's EP came out on February 14th, and our first issue dropped on March 1st. So it was less than 2 weeks between release, and less than 2 weeks between idea conception and the release of the first issue. And we sat down, we wrote all 16 articles that you read in the magazine in 2 weeks. We actually had them done a long time beforehand because we had to upload, I think we uploaded on February 26th, so that was 12 days. But then we also had to do designing, proofreading, all that fun stuff. So it was about 10 days that we wrote all the articles for our first issue. So then we put it up. I went through publisher after distributor after online platform until I finally landed on MagCloud, which is the most amazing publisher that we could ever ask for. This is not sponsored, by the way, whatsoever. They have really good shipping rates, really good production rates. Shipping speed's a little slow, but we're fine with it because there's options for overnight and stuff like that. But it's literally perfect for us since we're still small, so there's no financial risk on our end, and it's all completely dependent on them. So that's really cool. And yeah, so we write all of our articles ourselves. We completely edit them completely on Canva, which I actually taught them how to use Canva. And we're using my school account to edit this thing. And I'm like, oh my God, someone in one of my design teams at school is gonna like see our entire magazine in my account and it's gonna be like, why do you have a whole magazine in your Canva account? And I'm gonna be like, mind your business. So we completely write, edit, design everything that you see. And then we broke we have three distinct areas that each of us cover. So Jenna, who is the most amazing person in the world, she operates all of our social medias. Laurel operates all of our artist discovery and then like our PR and stuff like that. So we like go to her and we're like, this, should we say this, should we say that, blah, blah, blah. And then I operate the whole business side. So finance, marketing, all of that, that's all me. And it's really interesting because I'm actually thinking of going into marketing when I'm older, kind of toying between marketing and then music journalism. So I'm not exactly sure. But so operating all that, and then like it's funny because I'm like learning new stuff like every single day in my marketing class, and I'm like, guys, we should do this, or guys, we should do that. Like I learned about an email campaign, and I literally, the second class was over, I pulled up my computer and I was like, okay, how should we set up our email campaign? And it was just amazing. So yeah, that's how we completely own and operate our store. And then yeah, so through artist discovery, we find artists and we find their business emails and we just email, like just shots in the dark, just like, hey, like, you know, are you busy, like, can you do this, can you do that? And like we've gotten a lot of no's, but we've also gotten a lot of yeses, so that's pretty cool because, you know, we're still starting up. We only have 2 issues out. Like this episode, oh my God, why can I not talk today? This video comes out, should be, let me see. This video comes out tomorrow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Our second issue launches in 4 days. Today, the day you're seeing this would be March 29th. So our next issue drops April 1st, which is our second issue ever. We already have our 3rd issue done. We just started discussion on our 4th issue today. So we just go. Like everything we do for incoming. We don't have downtime anymore. I don't have like, I'm literally not even kidding. When I'm not, you know, doing homework, I'm editing. When I'm not editing, I'm doing our finances. When I'm not doing our finances, I'm registering our business, like, you know. So it's just like one thing after another, and it's so invigorating because it's so cool to like be proud of something, like own something, operate something, and like know like this is like, it can only go as far as you make it go. And we put so much time, energy, and effort into it, and all of our hard work comes back tenfold. Like, it just is amazing. Like, the reaction we've had from our first issue, we didn't even like go into this initially with like monetary value in mind, and now we're like, we could make a living off of this. We could literally, if we build this up enough, we will be able to survive off of this issue or off of this magazine. So it's just crazy to think like some backwards idea I had like a month and a half ago now could end up being my entire life. And it is my entire life, you know? So it's like everything I do now is just all this magazine. Definitely interesting owning and operating like a business, like trying to like see things from a different perspective, but having Laurel and Jenna there to like bounce ideas off of and like be like, don't do this, don't do that, and like, you know, all this, like, oh, should I send this email, how do we think this is, can you guys listen to this song, you know, should we contact this person? It definitely makes the experience so much more enjoyable than if I was doing it by myself. And if I was doing it by myself, I wouldn't have made it to the first issue. So yeah, it's crazy. And just like all like the support and like everything we've had for our first issue is just amazing. So I'm like speechless trying to like say, like put it into words. But yeah, so I think that's all I have to say for this video, because I'm kind of just talking in circles. But if you would like to read Incoming and Outgoing, you can click the link in the description and it'll take you to our distributor, MagCloud. On there you can buy a physical copy, or you can just read a digital copy for free. Jillian Heidi, she's our April cover star. She will be up on April 1st, so you can go ahead and read her issue then. And then right now you can still go back and you can read Emily Dre's cover story, and then we have a whole bunch of fun more articles in there, like playlists, Spotify editorial reviews, Grammy highlights. What else do we have? I have a section where I review a whole bunch of new albums, and this is what I like, this is what I don't like. So it's definitely if you love music, you can't miss out on this. If you have any questions about the process or anything that we've been through behind the scenes, go ahead and leave them in the description box below or in the comments below. We are thinking about doing some shipping and like actual hands-on production, so I might end up doing a video about that later in the future, but I'm not exactly sure at the moment. We're still working out some differences with that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and I upload a video every Monday and Friday.